My, what a long nose you have. Are we going fishing? Oh, you want to go fishing. It might be too cold out. You don't have enough fur on. Well, it has been a minute since I talked to you guys last. It is middle of November now. November 11th or 12th or 13th or something like that. Each year, I feel like I get a little bit more into hunting whitetails with a bow. And it always steals some of my fishing time. Fall's too damn short. Am I right? You got so much going on. You got great fishing, you got hunting, and it was just not enough time to do it all. I actually thought I was done for the year as far as open water fishing went, as far as like October 27th went. Got really cold, and then it kind of warmed up. Sold the Warrior, but we still have the XL. Today it's supposed to be like 45 degrees, light winds, perfect opportunity to do one of my favorite super late fall patterns. First we need rods for sure. Like I still have all my rods. I don't really get rid of much stuff at the end of the year, because then I don't need much stuff to start the year. I feel like I left like one tackle box in here, which I did. The only tackle box you really technically need in the fall, which is a bunch of jigs. We got life jackets, we got throwable, we got a paddle, we got a net, we got a fire extinguisher, I know that. I hope there's enough charge on that. I know you guys have probably already moved on to ice fishing, and that's where your brain's at right now. And I totally understand that. It's probably where most of us are at right now. The realistic part about this, and I've seen some people like teasing first ice already, is that unfortunately, as of today anyways, yes, up in the northern Midwest, we have some temps that are like 22, 27 degrees at night, but our highs are like 38, 40, 52. So ice is unfortunately a ways off. The sounds of late season fishing. A little frozen up. Not bad though. Plus we're in the tinner, so rest assured, no damage will be done. It will take an iceberg that's the size of the one that took out the Titanic to sink this vessel, I believe. It is so ridiculously nice out today. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I even shed my layer. I just suited up in the garage and I was like, you know what? I don't even think we need to wear this much stuff. That's how nice it is out today. Let's get the Terova down. Power her up. Now, what are we gonna use? Let's just go with a little live bait rig to start. I know we could jig them, but what's our water temp? It's got to be in the 30s, 38 degrees, which is pretty much, I mean, the end of open water season, right? A lot of times you just get a split shot, a hook, and a minnow, and lip hook that sucker, and just kind of flip it out there. When you see some fish, that can be the way to go. Almost better than jigging sometimes, I've noticed. We're going to be running side imaging. I'm not even going to mess around with live right now. The deal a lot of times, in my opinion anyways, is, especially on a lake like we're on now, where it's one of these like flowagey type systems, river channels, brush, points, flats, weeds. I love fishing the last pieces of like standing milfoil chunks. And if you get like a good milfoil chunk near the edge of some structure and like 4 to 6, 7 feet of water, I mean, that can be absolute money. Here's the setup. Split shot, number 6 octopus, and a sucker minnow, lip hooked. Oh my gosh, dude, just right off the bat here. I'll take a screenshot for you. Holy cow, a whole bunch of them. tons of them in here. Holy smokes, man. They just keep showing up. I'm not really gonna fish this like a jig. Yep, that was already a fish on. Unbelievable. This is a 7'6". This is the Elliott Identity Series Ultimate Rigging Rod. And what this rod's designed to do is just like this. So I'm going to be able to load this tip. And I can tell this fish is on here, right? Water's so cold. You want to give him just a little bit of time to eat. Look at this. First cast of the day, man. I can already see this fish. We're sitting in 4.5 feet of water right now. And we're pitching even a little bit shallower. Look at this fish. Oh, I love it, man. Why can't we just have like, and I get it. Some of us are excited for ice fishing. But days like this, why can't we just have like 2 months of this and then it just goes right back into spring fishing? Unbelievable, huh? Look at this guy. That is perfect right there. This lake doesn't have a ton of real big walleyes. We might get a decent one or two. We'll kind of see how it shakes out today. But clearly, I would say they're biting a little bit decent. For the first cast, getting a bite. Get this guy unhooked. A lot of times, just like ice fishing, if you get a fish live bait hooked on a single hook, go in through the gill like this, back that hook out, and you're going to get that fish out with no problem. Just like that. Beautiful little 17-incher to get the day going, huh? That water is cold. Cold, cold, cold. Let's see if we can follow it up with another one, huh? Because that was fun. Obviously, with a jig, a lot of times I'll hook the minnow right through the skull, but that would kill the action. And these fish in this real cold water, especially if they're fickle at all, just leaving this weight on the bottom once you get around them and letting that minnow do the work, it's kind of the deal. So you just kind of want to lip hook them like that. I'm just going to kind of keep flipping it back out here in the zone where I saw all these fish. I can't see them right now because they're all back behind me. Right here. Very soft bite. So important the second I get that bite just to open my bail up this time of year. This longer limber rod, it's a soft tip, I can just kind of load that tip and be like, oh yeah, he's right there. The fish has no idea. Look at that. Snatching him out of skinny water, my friends. Oh, is that great. Look at that thing, dude. Unbelievable. Are we having fun? Feel bad. You know, you spend so much time in the fall, at least I do anyways, chasing deer around. And you get so into it, and then you forget about this other thing, which is going on, which is these crazy, cool fall bites. Beautiful chunker walleye right there, man. Let's grab you. Let's grab you. Look how fat that fish is. I know he's only a 18-incher. Look how thick and sassy that walleye is. Not a better fish in the world than that one right there right now. Now, obviously, I've fished this bite before, but these shallow water spots are just a lot of rinse and repeat. Check here, check there, just kind of constantly going around, especially on like a flowage system like this. These fish can really move a lot. Like there might be a really big spot, and 20 of them might be just in this little area. There might not be anything that looks good for another 100 yards. Seems like a lot of natural lakes where you get some of those like big flat type situations that are just a lot of sand, a lot of similar structure. You'll just have kind of fish scattered a little bit more, but in a lot of these flowages, they really isolate up on sweet spots. Yep. Dude, I mean, it's every cast right now. Oh, late fall. That's feeling good. That's feeling real good. Unbelievable, man. I don't think we're going to land on schools of fish like this for every spot for the rest of the day. But I'm not complaining at all. It's probably, I don't know, is that one a little better one right there? They're all pretty nice for this lake. This is one of those lakes where you can go a while at a lot of times a year without seeing, fish in that 15 plus inch size. And look how nice he is. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. That's a super nice one right there for out here, man. That is what we want. Look how beautiful that is. Sucker hanging out there. Beautiful cold water walleyes to get things going. I'm not even worried about my hands getting cold today. That's how nice it is out. These days are numbered. If you have the opportunity to get out on a boat one more time on a day like this, soak it in, because when it's all cold and frozen, you're going to remember days like this. They're trying to cold water curl. You let them go, and they all do that this time of year. Beauties. See you later, dude. So one thing, obviously this time of year, water temp's 38 degrees, right? So first ice, you want to get out, get that first ice, tip up night bite in, right? These are the kind of spots I look for. Super shallow, some weeds, a little bit of a channel edge. And a lot of times I'm just walking out that time of year with my phone. So this is the One Boat Network app. I have it on my phone right now. You can see it's got all the Lake Master mapping on it. But the cool part is a lot of times, obviously, you might just be walking out with this, using the mapping on this, because you don't want to drag a million different graphs out there, right? Just to do a big tip-up spread or something like that. But I really want this waypoint right where the side imaging, right where I side image this pot of fish. So super cool. Hopefully you guys can see it all right in the GoPro coming off my head here, what I'm looking at. Click on this waypoint in which I side image these fish on. All I'm going to do is hit export, and I'm going to export it to the One Boat Network app. Boom, done and done. Now you guys can see is simultaneously that waypoint popped up my graph, or on my phone here. So if I'm going to walk out, all I need is my phone. I have all my waypoints in here. I have everything I need. And I can just snatch all these waypoints where I find fish today and have all that information right here for kind of beating up some first ice walleyes. Because when you start getting water temps 38 degrees, these fish ain't moving an inch from now until freeze up. So it's just one little thing that I kind of always keep in mind this time of year is, especially ice fishing, man. It's so difficult a lot of times to get on numbers of fish through the ice, and everything, obviously, ice fishing is made more difficult just by the fact of how you have to travel on the ice. It's really cold out. You got to drill a hole. So any little cheat code I have to get on fish or be exactly where I want to be a little bit more efficiently, I take that cheat code. Got one just screaming away with it here. I wasn't sure if I lost my minnow because all of a sudden I felt all tension gone. There's one just running at the boat with it here. Right there. A lot of times these runners aren't going to be very big ones. It's a nice walleye though. Dude, I mean, they're all pretty nice, huh? Look at that. What do you say, my friends? Is this an incredible day to be out as a fall walleye fisherman? When I kind of started walleye fishing a lot, I was always convinced that fall was like a deep water time, and I'm not really sure if that was because a lot of what I did for smallmouth was like deep rock, and then a lot of the musky fishing we did was in deeper water. And granted, there is generally a deep water fall walleye bite that goes on, but a huge number of these fish run back up really skinny water. I can just think of a lot of the lakes I like to fish kind of in my area here. It's pretty much a 12 feet and less situation. I mean, 99% of the places I'm going to go this time of year. Well, that's cool. Beat them out pretty good, I would say. When you're making a pattern, think of it like this. What's going on in this spot? Shallow flat, junk weeds, stumps, wind coming in, shoreline related. That's what we're looking for. Either structurally, depth-wise, or the wind. I'm just trying to match that up as many times as we can. Drop some stuff in the comments. How many of you guys are like, oh, I wish the lake would never freeze? Versus how many of you guys are like, I wish ice season lasted 9 months. I enjoy ice fishing, but some of you guys who are like sad ice season ends in April, you're some real sick puppies. Whole bunch of them right here, man. Yep, right here next to the boat, man. Right here next to the boat. Let them eat. Let them eat. Got him. Got him, baby. Where you at? Where you at? Another chunker. Speechless, man. I don't know really what else we can say.
This has just been an absolute beatdown. We're on spot 3. We've caught fish on every spot we've stopped so far. And they're all just good chunkers. I absolutely love this lake in the fall. Number 1, it's beautiful. Number 2, there's never any boats out here. Maybe the odd musky fisherman on a nice Saturday or something, floating some big minnows, but it's just there's nobody out here walleye fishing. And all these fish are piled in some super skinny water. This pattern, you can cut and paste it almost anywhere you're going to go, and it'll be banging this time of year. Oh, I love it. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the sliding or the live bait rig is out fishing the jig right now, which is something I've seen quite a bit when water gets really cold. But I think it's just that minnow can be totally still. You know, that weight can be down on the bottom, the minnow can still be paddling around. And it's just so light and wispy, right? You can use kind of like a slider, you know, like a swivel and then a sliding weight, but it gets kind of weird to cast that rig. So more times than not, I like doing it with this. Just, I mean, you're only fishing in 3 to 7 feet of water. So real light, like 16th or 8th ounce split shot, 1.5 foot above the line, octopus hook. You're not even jigging really. You're just kind of casting it out. Let it hit bottom. Let it sit there for a minute. Just give the reel another turn. It just kind of gets that thing up, wisping around, slowly comes back down. Fish will pick it up off the bottom. Sometimes you'll feel that tink bite. And I've literally got a bunch of them just right behind the Yamaha right now. Oh, this one's going nuts. Okay, it's a little nicer one, I'd say. Look at him, man. Oh my goodness, are we having a good time? You know, when I start doing that, you know, that schoolgirl laugh, that I'm having fun. Come here, we'll get the net wet on one today. That is a fatty right there, man. That's that next class of fish, I would say. Look at that late fall walleye, man. Butterballs. I mean, I don't think it gets any better than that right there. Super chunky late fall walleyes, man. We gotta let that one go. That's too cool. Look at the weight on that guy. Look how pudgy he is. See you later. So obviously, no forward facing today, right? A lot of these fish, when they get around this much junk, they're actually hard to see on forward facing, like really hard to see. And doing this with side imaging, you also don't see everything, but I think you get that picture a lot quicker as opposed to what's going on in this kind of a situation. And basically the biggest thing is like when I find fish and I want to position the boat where I have like a really clean understanding of where those fish are. Yes, you can do the whole drop the waypoint thing. Yes, you can, you know, on something like the Explorer here, you can double tap 2 fingers on this, scroll back, try to see the last place you saw those fish like this, and then drop the waypoint on them. I try to like visually get a cue on where these fish are and then make my cast accordingly. So a lot of times, like as I'm sitting here fishing, what I'm gonna do is like, I know there was just some fish back here. So one thing I can do is just, I need that plane to get back here. So I'm gonna take the boat and I'm gonna start spinning it like this. We'll see, I banged on these fish pretty hard, so I don't know if they're still even gonna be here or not. So like this situation, I'm not seeing more fish here. So that tells me that school that was there, I've either caught them all or they've shifted, right? So now I can kind of keep swinging and moving around. Now let's say I start getting this way and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there's a couple fish right here, right? Instead of just spot locking with the wind here and then trying to fish up here the whole time, one thing I'll do a lot is try to sneak up alongside of these fish so that as the wind's coming this way, I can almost spot lock and keep those fish right here at a real comfortable cast, and at the same time, keep an eye on them with the side imaging. There is something special about just coming out, fishing old school like this. Little boat, late in the fall, breaking ice on the way out. Very reminiscent of days of old. That's nice. All right, we're gonna leave these walleyes now. I know this has just gotten straight absurd out here. We'll leave you guys here for a long winter's rest. We'll be back for you in the spring, don't worry. It's kind of sad, you know? It's one of our last days. Take a trip down memory lane once with me. Did you guys enjoy the hunt for the ones? Those were kind of a big time investment for me this year. And the reality is, I get this channel was built on like solely information, right? Solely 3 tips for slip bobbers, how to tie this, best way to troll this. And don't get me wrong, we're gonna include a lot of that kind of stuff in the future too, but you can only make so many of that one type of video, you know? You have to conclude, I like these big giant touring videos where we go somewhere, we look for a giant fish, much more cinematic, a lot of information packed into it, but tells an actual story. Not just like, there's 3 things for this. We'll still do some of those, because I know some of you guys still really want those, but what am I even talking about? Let's go catch some crappies. I want to kind of mix it up. We might totally strike out, but I want to at least try. We don't need no stinking live scope. We don't need no stinking forward facing. Cheating stuff. Our little secret, just for this crappie mission. I'm gonna pull out the secret weapon here. Da 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 da. An ice rod inside of a gun box. Oh baby. Oh baby. Oh baby. We got crop dogs. We got crop dogs on the ice rod. Baby. Crop dogs. Crop dogs. Fun way to end the day real quick. Some fall crappies. We'll be catching them through the ice soon. There we go, there we go. That's a decent one. Where you at, buddy? All right, we're done. I wanted to come out and do it for a little bit. This is probably my favorite ice fishing panfish rod. Well, it is. It's the one I've used the last bunch of years. And obviously, as we're pretty much approaching ice season now, this is the one I would get. This is a 42-inch Elliott Evolution Series noodle. Now, you notice with this rod, it's got that noodle tip that we all love to fish, where you can see those down bites, you can see those up bites. Very soft, supple, but it's longer than your average panfish rod. Loads up incredibly well, number one. So it's super fun to fight these fish with, and you don't have to, like, if you're doing this, you know, on the ice, obviously, you can kind of stand up and just sit here and work it like this with your rod real close. You don't have to be like way down over the ice, huddled over top of it like that. So this is kind of the one I use. Spool it up with 3 or 4 pound mono. Throw on a 5 or a 3 mil or a 4 mil tungsten, man. Little plastic on there, and you're literally catching crappies in a boat all fall and on the ice all winter. Land ho! Some recent posts I made kept getting asked, how do you load the boat with the docks out? Well, I don't like to do it in the Warrior unless you got 2 people, but in the XL, you beach her up, you go get your truck, the boats are basically indestructible. That was one of the really big reasons I wanted, obviously, to have a smaller boat like this, is so that I can get out really early in the spring. I'm not worried about getting salt all over it when I go spring river fishing, and I can fish with no docks. Well, if that's it for the year, I can live with that. That was a very pleasant, relaxing afternoon on the water. Oh, camera's tipping all over per usual. Absolutely beautiful day though. Now we're not focusing. I think we're focusing now. Gorgeous afternoon. It was exactly what the soul needed.
Just a day of beating on walleyes. Not too cold, and I'm excited about it. But obviously we're kind of getting into ice season. I'm sure you guys, like I said in the intro, probably don't give a rat's ass about watching a guy walleye fish this time of year. I'm sure a few of you will. But stay tuned. Ice is coming, and we're getting ready to hit the road for an extremely fast pace traveling ice fishing season. So appreciate you guys hanging out with me per usual. Thank you guys for making my job possible. Thank you guys for watching this video, commenting on this video, and we'll see you on the next one.